Hey guys, Steve Stomber here, owner of Mammoth Lab Supplements, and recently I went vegan. So yes, I went vegan. I wanted to give it my own go. Yes, I watched the Game Changers documentary and I figured why not give it a shot. It's not that I was totally, gullible by the Game Changers documentary. I saw the articles of, fact checking it and saying, well, this isn't really true or this research is skewed slightly. But as a scientist and as a person who loves trying new diets, because it's always an opportunity to learn something new about how your body responds to whatever the diet might be. The diet might be stupid, but sometimes you still try it. Well, hey, what the hell, let me give it a shot and see how my body responds. Maybe the whole diet's not effective, but you might learn a few things within that diet that might be. So anyway, let's get into it. So one big problem I have with everyone going vegan and saying, oh, I have better energy, my joints feel better, this and that, is they're changing fucking everything. They're changing their training. Maybe they went from not training to training and they introduced veganism as well. Or maybe they kept their macros totally different. Now their vegan macros are totally, way skewed from what they would normally eat. And now they're noticing a change in their energy levels. So it's really not fair to just blame it on veganism and say, oh, vegan's the reason why I feel so much better. That's Duncan. When it could have been a ton of different variables. So what I wanted to do was, in a nutshell, control the variables. So what I did was I kept the same calories, the same macros, the same carb cycle, and the same training program. And the same cardio too. Because this is cardio. Get out of here, Duncan. But so I wanted to keep everything consistent and see what was purely the effect of just changing the source of protein from meat-based, from animals, to this fake meat or, to other sources of protein in veganism. Alright, so here we go. Let's get into it. So let's go into the week 1 results or check-in photo. So I got these right here. Boom. Now you notice, hey, you look a lot leaner. What happened? So when I checked in, I was 232 pounds. And in this photo, week 1 check-in, 1 week later, exactly 7 days, same time, fasted check-in, same carb cycle before, everything keeping it the same. 7-pound difference. 7 pounds. Is that even possible? So I have a few different reasons on how I lost 7 pounds in 1 week and what the sources are, whether it was, some muscle, some fat, water, whatever. I'll get into that in a second. But first, week 1 results. How did I feel? Energy levels? Same. No difference. In and out of the gym? No difference. Lifting the same amount of weight, same amount of reps. Everything's the same. Now, as far as, let's say, muscle recovery. Same. No problem. Same recovery. Still able to get after it. No problem. Joint function? No difference as well. One thing I will note in joint function, I'll save this for later. So, and then what other thing? Oh, in Game Changers they said your penis is gonna get bigger. It didn't. Same thing. So week 1, no changes in how I feel or anything that I could really tell besides what I read on the scale. Now, as far as that weight loss difference, 7 pounds, that's a fucking lot in 1 week. If you're not starving yourself, granted I'm eating 3,000 calories, I'm 6 foot, so I'm eating enough, still working out, still doing the same thing, still eating the same as I was when I was pre-vegan. How did I lose so much weight? Well, one thing was I think that 232 weigh-in might have been a little bit skewed. I might have had a little bit of food still in my gut that was processing. So maybe you have a pound there, right? Now, one thing that I noticed was on veganism, I was holding a lot less water. For whatever reason, I was holding a lot less water. Might have to do with the type of carbs that I was eating. Instead of eating a lot of rice, now I'm eating 2.5 pounds of fucking beans. So that has a component to it. Now, let's go back to this bean topic. The fiber. So I've been dieting for a while. I've cut 30 pounds over 4 separate times. And one thing I never really kept track of before was my fiber intake. Now I noticed when I was eating on high carb day upwards of 100, I think one day I got up to 140 grams of fiber. So that's a lot of fiber. On a normal day, like on my low carb day, when I'm not eating all these beans, it's like 20 grams maybe. When I was pre-vegan, you know, eating a lot of rice, maybe a little beans, 20, 30 grams, maybe 40 grams. So I'm over 100. So that's a ton of fiber. Did some more research on this, and I noticed that fiber has been attributed to weight loss for a wide variety of reasons. Now, another aspect of it is the source of the carbs as well. Now that I'm forced to kind of shift away from my comfort zone of rice and, you know, a source of protein like chicken or steak, whatever it might be, ground beef, to beans and maybe a little bit of fake meat, is the glycemic index of these carbs. So beans have a really low glycemic index, and I've mentioned this before, but when you eat low glycemic foods, what it does is it doesn't trigger the same insulin response as high glycemic foods. Now, what does that mean? So when you eat a low glycemic food, it doesn't trigger that insulin response, so you don't have a lot of sugar in your bloodstream. Now, when you have a lot of sugar in your bloodstream, your body says to itself, hey, look, I have so much available energy in the bloodstream, so easy to get, I could just grab it. I got a sandwich, tacos, pizza, sushi. I can't leave sushi out. Come on, it's fucking sushi. So your body does that and just starts grabbing those sugars, using it for energy. Now, when you're eating low glycemic foods and you don't have those sugars in your bloodstream, your body's like, well, I guess I have to, you know, go into the fridge, go into the ice chest and see what we got. So it starts chipping away at the fat that you got and burning that for energy. So you're able to be in a thermogenic state, which is fat burning, when you're eating low glycemic foods. So that is, maybe I was able to really, burn a little bit more fat, which is why you could see more clarity and more definition in the week 1 photos. Another aspect was my metabolism was on fire. Normally my metabolism's pretty good. Like on a normal pre-vegan, I'm pooping at least twice a day. Maybe 3 times, but at least 2 times minimum. Now, after this first week of being vegan, we're talking 5+ times a day. Ridiculous. It's like when you first started taking creatine and you got your gallon jug and you're drinking all your water and you're fucking just living in the bathroom. That's what it was like. But instead of pissing, I was shitting. So, but whatever. So that's attributable to the fiber. So metabolism definitely boosted the rate. Then I was also, burning fat. So that's where I think the 7 pounds came. And then also the water retention as well. Combined with maybe my weigh-in was slightly off, slight anomaly than normal. So that's how you get your 7 pounds a week 1. Now, after that check-in, I was like, holy shit, 7 pounds. I'm bulking right now. I can't be losing 7 pounds in a week. I'm trying to, gain weight, improve on some weak spots, try to build muscle. And when I see 7 pounds off the scale, it's like, it's accurate to this. So what did I do? I increased my calories. So before I was eating about 3,000 calories, I upped it closer to 3,500 after accounting for fiber. So this is really roughly about 3,800 calories. So I upped it to that point because I was like, no way am I losing any more weight. I'm bulking. So what happened? Well, here we go. We got the week 2 check-in photo. So week 1, like I said, we're pre-vegan, 232. Week 1, 225. Week 2, take a guess, 224. Despite upping my calories so much, pretty much upping them almost a third. Now, only still lost a pound. Now a pound's like negligible on a scale. Like you could vary a pound or 2 every single day, especially if you're, a bigger body. It's really easy. You could fluctuate 2-3 pounds in a day and it's really nothing. But this is, my fasted state. So I take it a pound difference, even though I increased my calories. Now let's get into energy level. The same, no difference. Still pumping weight. Still, doing the same reps, not feeling fatigued, not feeling tired in the gym or at work. So that was the same. Now, as far as joint function, that's actually where I noticed a significant difference. But wait, it's not what you think. So a lot of people think with veganism they're going to feel better with their joints. But one thing I had to do was stop taking one of my company's products, our muscle and joint recovery product, which, do I got it? Let me get it. So here we go. Muscle and joint recovery. Now what this has, it has a patented form of collagen, UC2 collagen, which is derived from chicken cartilage. And what this collagen does is, it's a type 2 version, and it's specifically going to target restoring the cartilage within your joints so your joints feel better. Now since it's derived from chicken cartilage, I stopped taking it because I'm doing the whole vegan. I can't have anything that's derived from animals or whatever. So I stopped taking it, and this has been my lifesaver for a while. I don't have the best knees, so when I stopped taking it, week 1 it didn't really catch up to me, but by week 2 I really started to feel it, and I can't wait to start taking it again. Not only am I going to feel better, but peep the flavor. Dragon fruit. Ow. Ice cubes, like 10 ounces of water. Fuego. Let's go back for a second. Let's go to those week 2 check-in photos, and let's put it next to pre-vegan over here. So as you can tell, there's a really big difference between 2 weeks into vegan and being pre-vegan, despite actually increasing my calories. Now I'm going to have more definition on after these 2 weeks are up, and that's great, but I'm here to tell you I am done, finito. I don't know any more languages, but I'm done with being vegan, and here's why. So as an engineer, my background's actually in chemical engineering, for those who don't know. I'm all about data, crunching numbers, all about the science. Now, although the science, and I'll get into the science a little bit later, but as far as the numbers, the financial cost of being vegan, I understand why all vegans just tell everybody they're vegan. Because if I was paying an extra $200-300 a month for, let's say, my car, let's say instead of my car payment being $300, now it's $500-600, and it's not because I got bad credit or whatever, or put a shitty down payment. It's because it's a way nicer car. Fucking everyone likes their status symbols, whether it's their car, their vegan clout, whatever. But either way, I did the math, and veganism, personally for me, would cost about $200 more a month. And how I broke this down was, let's say you're getting chicken breasts, for example. And let's say you're buying it at an average of $2 a pound. Now, chicken breast, a pound of it, 16 ounces. A serving is chicken, 4 ounces, 25 grams of protein. So that's our baseline, right? So if you got your chicken breast, that's $2, dividing it by 4. So now you're paying 50 cents per 25 grams of protein. Granted, you lose some water, whatever. That's your baseline. So 50 cents if you're eating meat and all that stuff for your protein per serving. Now, with being vegan, I noticed I was paying upwards of $1 per serving. So double the cost. Now I'm doing 250 grams of protein a day. So that divided by 25, do the math, times by an extra 50 cents, times it by 30 days, and it's $150. Now it's not 200, like I said, but then I'm also adding all these extra sauces and, flavorings, just because so much of this shit just tastes so bland. Like when I gotta eat over, 2 pounds of tofu in a day, you need some teriyaki sauce, you need some firecracker sauce or whatever. And the thing is, normally on a normal diet, I'm pounding hot sauce. Live by it, love it. Rice and ground beef, hot sauce. Rice and steak, less hot sauce, but hot sauce. Rice and chicken, hot sauce. Live by it, So, but with tofu, hot sauce it doesn't go that well. So now I'm using, not only am I paying for these condiments, but I'm also adding in all these additional sugars. I'm adding in all these empty calories, which I would not be doing, on a normal diet. I would just be hitting that hot sauce. It's like that button they have at Staples. Hot sauce. Hungry? Hot sauce. I mean, I wouldn't eat hot sauce, but I mean, I might if it's frying, because that shit's delicious. Put it on everything. So we had the financial aspect. Am I going to pay $200 more a month to feel the same? You know, dicks didn't get bigger. Not worth it. Not worth it. So $2,400 a month, not a month, a year to be vegan. Rather go on vacation. So that's the financial aspect of it. And then also on the food aspect, I know you can be more creative and do fun things being vegan. When you're eating 6 to 7 times a day, being creative gets really old. You just want to have your staples, you know, your rice and chicken and broccoli, you know, whatever. It's just, it's easy. It's easy and it tastes good. It's enjoyable. I like it. You know, the cream and rice and the normal whey protein. This is another thing. I struggled to find a good vegan protein. And honestly, I got the Optimum Nutrition plant-based protein. And I'm allowed to say that because my company does not actually make protein right now. And it was bad. It wasn't good. I won't say it's bad. Especially compared to a lot of the other ones. I tried this rice protein. Terrible. If anyone wants it, good luck. I'll send it to you. But good luck. You gotta do like a whole bag in a blender, some challenge, then make it interesting. Don't make just asking for it. But anyway, with the Optimum Nutrition plant-based protein, I added in additional sucralose, the artificial sweetener, and it was a lot better. It was in the bearable zone, but it still wasn't like delicious. Like I remember when I was on prep. I mean, prep's a little bit different. You lose your mind. But having like my cream of rice and then my birthday cake protein, or like, you know, my caramel nut, whatever protein, you know, the fun stuff. Just not fun. Didn't look forward to it. I dreaded it. So that's another factor. Protein, no longer fun. So I was really just pounding the lentils and the black beans and the pinto beans for protein on a hard carb day. And then on low carb day for protein, tofu actually has a decent protein profile. Per serving of tofu, 3 ounces, is 4 grams of fat, 8 grams of protein. So you got a good ratio. But one thing you'll notice is you can't isolate macronutrients on vegan, which is so key for bodybuilding. Everything is a blend. You know, if it's got protein, it's either got fats or carbs in it. You don't have that egg whites that's just straight protein. You know, you don't have that whey isolate that's just straight protein and, you know, a gram of fat or, you know, 1 carb, whatever. You just lack that ability to really isolate one macronutrient, the one you want. Let's say all your other macros are in line for the day. You hit your carbs goal, you hit your fats goal, but you're like, oh shit, I got an extra 25 grams of protein to hit. Good luck. You're going to go over on one of the other two as well to hit that 25 grams. And I know what you're thinking, but wait, Steve, you got great results being vegan. It was only 2 weeks. What if you just continued? No. And here's why. So one, you have the financial cost. But the other thing was it veganism that created the change? As an engineer, I'm all about finding the right root cause. When there's a problem on the manufacturing floor, you want to make sure you're solving the right problem. You don't want to solve 2 other problems that have no effect on the output that you're trying to improve. You got to find the right root cause, fix that, output gets better, right? So was it veganism directly? No, and here's why. So if I want to go the more expensive route, let's say if I wanted to just do on that high carb day instead of the 2.5 pounds of beans, let's say I'm going rice and the fake meat, which is like decent profile. The only thing about the fake meat is like if sometimes a lot of them are just super high in carbs, so you got to watch that. And then the ones that aren't have like a decent amount of fat, like 5 grams, and there's no isolation. It sucks. But either way, let's say I went the more expensive route and did the rice and then the fake meat, right? I would have not have gotten the same results that I did versus eating the 2.5 pounds of beans, because my fiber would have been totally different. And also the glycemic index of the foods would have been totally different. So what's the root cause? Is it veganism? No. Veganism, since I wanted to do it cheaply, forced me to eat low glycemic foods and foods that were super high in fiber, aka lentils, black beans, pinto beans. But if I would have went the more expensive route, just did rice and the fake meat, fiber would have been different. The white rice is higher glycemic. It had a totally different result. Maybe my metabolism would have not have been sped up to the way it was. I would have not have been pooping 10 times a day, which honestly I would take that. So thus, the root cause is not veganism. Veganism does not directly make you lose weight. More fiber does. Calorie deficit does, even though I wasn't in calorie deficit, but calorie deficit does as well. So you really want to pay attention to the root cause, and obviously eating low glycemic foods, like I said, will keep you in that thermogenic zone so you could keep burning fat. So is it possible to be a vegan bodybuilder? Totally. There's no problem. You could totally be a vegan bodybuilder, but keep these few things in mind. It's going to be more expensive. You're going to sacrifice a little bit of control on your macronutrients. And you're probably going to get bored of the foods. Because on a bodybuilding diet, you're already so constrained on what the foods you could eat. And then you add the vegan aspect to it, and now your box of available foods is like this big versus being this big. So it's way tougher, not as flexible, not as much fun. And granted, I was adding in those additional like sauces that have sugars in it. If you're doing that on a cut, not gonna go well. So I personally don't think they mesh well together. Is it possible? Once again, yes. Is it worth it? Probably not. Anyway, that's it for today's vegan. I'm already thinking vegan stuff. That's it for today's video. Tune in next time, and I'm going to be talking about my new cut coming up for this summer, the diet I'm going to be doing, some of the workouts, and some of the changes I'm going to be making going from the bulk to the cut. See you next time. Be huge, be mammoth.